What's going on, y'all? KM Best here with an intriguing list that I got from another High Infinite player that I have found some real success with. This list comes to you by way of SafetyBlade, and he beat the crap out of me with this list to the point that I was like, damn, I really wish I knew what he was doing exactly. And then he put it on Twitter. You can find the Twitter in the description. And of course, I was immediately enamored with what was going on here because I think it solves a lot of the problems with this metagame and it manages to attack things in a unique way. Now, first things first, this is a Wong deck, but it is a pretty pricey Wong deck. So make sure you pay attention to the card-by-card breakdown where we talk about what the viable replacements are, what you can really be doing, and how you understand how each of this deck's matchups tend to go. Sorry, a little bit of a brain freeze there. Now, this deck is effectively, you look at it and you say, oh, that's a Wong deck. You're doing a Wong combo thing. And a lot of your power is wrapped up in that. But what you are, in addition to that, is a deck that can actually just, like, play good cards. You can very easily just play a typical mid-range game plan of, here's a good card on turn 1, a good card on turn 2, a good card on turn 3, a good card on turn 4, a good card on turn 5. You have this sort of ability to not just be the, like, Wong White Tiger combo, but to also have like movers into Namora, to have a variety of powerful options on the final turn of the game, like a Sage, just generally play decent cards in unexpected ways. Now, that said, you are definitely a Wong deck, which gives you an ability to compete with decks like Hela on power. It gives you an ability to compete with these smaller combo decks on power, and Wong is definitely a card that can really be good in sort of mid-range matchups because Wong's power of multiplying what it is that you're doing on the later turns of the game can enable you to backdoor win a Professor X lane with Namora or things of that nature, or just send a bunch of 8 power Tigers across the entire board. Echo's utility in here is fairly marginal. She exists so that you can stop Cosmo. If you aren't particularly interested in doing that, she's pretty replaceable, if we're going to be completely honest. Now, she does have one superpower, and that is being completely and totally invisible. This is a card that people just don't notice, and her real power, even at the top end of ladder, is that sometimes people will just completely forget she exists, and you will absolutely dominate them thanks to her ability. I had people play, like, Null into an Echo lane and just totally not realize what was going on. That is a thing that happened. I've caught people off guard with them playing Claw into an Echo lane and just totally not realize it. That was also a thing that happened. I would not say she is a required card, but she is a pretty good one as a one-drop, and that is a reasonable thing to want to include in a deck like this because the more you can curve out, the less reliant you are on being a combo deck to make that up in the late game. So I do like having early cards that you can play in this archetype. Nightcrawler is another early card you can play, and I actually added this card into the deck in exchange for the Rogue that SafetyBlade was playing because I just felt like I needed an actual ability to play cards on the first few turns of the game. One of the things that you'll notice about this is that you do have what looks like a reasonable curve. You got like some 1s, some 2s, some 3s. The thing about your 3s is you don't really want to be playing Sage early. You don't really want to be playing Ironheart early a decent amount of the time. And that leaves you in these awkward situations where like you're really not doing anything for a few turns. I wanted to have a card I was just generally happy to play. Obviously, Nightcrawler, a lot of synergy with a card like Namora, being able to do things like that. Honestly, if I could replace this card with a second Jeff, I probably would, but there isn't a second Jeff I can reasonably run, so having this ability to A, play against clog decks in a meaningful way, and B, synergize with Namora, I don't like that it dies to Killmonger, but it is the best option that I could think of. Jeff is one of the best cards in this deck. Obviously, just having a 2-drop to play on 2 is very good. Being able to have this card get extremely large thanks to a Namora is very good. And generally, this deck tends to be pretty vulnerable to clog stuff. So having so many cards that can move in your deck makes you a lot less vulnerable to being clogged. It makes you much more able to play onto locations that would otherwise be problematic for you, like the Raft, having Jeff, having Nocturn, having Nightcrawler. All of that enables you to be a better deck in the early game than you reasonably should be. And I think that's the real competitive advantage of this deck, is that yes, it's a Wong combo deck. It's a dumb Wong combo deck, sure, but it's also a deck that can just curve out with good cards. You can play a card that moves on 1, 2, and 3. You can play an Iron Lad. You can play a Namora. And suddenly that's like just a really threatening board. It's a good card curve. And I think that is a lot of what Jeff brings to this deck. Ravona Renslayer felt a little bit replaceable to me. It was very rare that she enabled me to do something truly messed up. This is a card that has a few targets in here. Mostly what it's hitting is Ironheart, White Tiger, and Sage, which does enable you to have like these sort of White Tiger plus Sage turns on the final turn of the game, which isn't nothing. It's very much not nothing, because that's a really good way to win a Wong lane by 1,000,000 points. Sage often getting to infinite levels there while you're sending 16 power over to the other lanes with your White Tigers. Again, not nothing, but a lot of the time when you play Ravona and then you have your like Wong combo in hand, she's not really doing much for you. You're still doing Wong into White Tiger into Odin, right? Like you're still just going to do that anyway, and she's not overly helpful. This is a fine card in the deck, but I do think it's far from a required one. It's just a helpful, useful piece that can sometimes enable you to have a more confusing turn 6 than you otherwise would. Ironheart is a pretty iffy card in the deck. One thing to note is that if you can play like Nightcrawler Jeff, and then you just like put Ironheart in the off lane, whatever lane that doesn't have a card in it, that's often something you end up doing. A, because if you are able to go like Wong, Tiger, Odin in that lane, you're going to get more triggers off of the Ironheart that way, because the Wong hits the Odin hits the Ironheart a bunch. It's going to be a pretty good thing to do. B, because getting a card in that off lane is important for you in the context of being a Namora deck as well. Now, it's not the only thing that matters, but it is a thing that matters. It does come up for sure. Sage is very large, and I generally appreciate her being very large, but in a deck with such a defined 4-5-6 combo, she's definitely not at her best. What she does really is serve as a bit of a juke. Like, if you have another lane already won, you can just dominate the game with a Sage Wong. That's an unbelievably powerful thing to do. She ends up getting incredibly large and incredibly strong, and it's a very unexpected play line. I think Sage is part of what makes Ravona a reasonable inclusion in this. If you don't have Ravona or Sage, I do think you can look into just taking that whole package out and playing this as a much more straightforward deck. I'm not sure how much that will cost you, but I do think that the baseline strength of this deck may not be impacted as much as you think. Nocturn is just a phenomenal card generally, and I talked about how the strength of this deck is that it's a combo deck that just happens to run a lot of good cards as well. That, a lot of it rests on Nocturn, because not only is Nocturn great with Namora, it is just a great card for you to have in almost any situation. Without this card, you have no ability to like deal with cards like locations like Limbo. Any problematic location that you need to deal with, she is the thing you are able to do that with. And she's also a 3/5 that moves that has synergy with Namora. I think she's very important to this because there is no one other card that can reasonably replace all of those things in this deck. Wongers is your main combo piece. A typical game can look very normal until you go Wong, Tiger, Odin. Wong, Tiger, that's 2 Tigers. Wong, Tiger, Odin, that's 4 Tigers. You're going to be able to go taller than most mid-range decks when you do that. Like, you are going to be able to beat Loki's with that. You are going to be able to beat Blink decks with that. You are going to be able to beat a lot of stuff with just straight up Wong, Tiger, Odin. That's a lot of power. It's a very strong thing to do. And the fact that we are able to be a deck that has a normal game plan of like just playing movers and Namoraing them while also having this stapled on combo thing, and there's synergy between the two, obviously, because Wonging Namora can be pretty damn good too. That's what makes the deck strong. When I talk about just a deck full of good cards that also happens to be a combo deck, Iron Lad is absolutely one of those just good cards. There are so many great hits here, but like Iron Lad accelerating your game plan, like let's say Iron Lad hits an Odin, that means you're drawing Odin the next turn, you put your 5-drop on reveal in that lane, You Odin that lane, that's basically the same as if you hit a Wong off the Iron Lad, which is also ridiculous. Hitting a mover off the Iron Lad, very, very strong. A lot of really strong things that this card can hit in this deck. Generically good card. Nightcrawler, Jeff, Nocturn, Iron Lad, great curve to have. White Tiger is here mostly for your combo. Now, there is some overlapping synergy with Ravona Renslayer. That is a thing that happens some of the time. But mostly what's going on here is you are trying to do Wong Tiger Odin stuff and create somewhere in the range of like 48 power worth of Tigers. That's a pretty good thing to do a lot of the time. Just putting that much power on the board will win you a lot of matchups for free, especially with Echo preventing Cosmo from interrupting that at all. Namora is, I wouldn't say a crucial piece of this deck, but she's part of what marries the two strategies, where this is a powerful card in and of itself, right? Like if you have a board where Namora is hitting like a Jeff and a Nocturn, that's just a really powerful thing to do. If you have a board where you're Wonging the Namora that is hitting the Jeff and the Nocturn, suddenly you are entering combo points territory. If you're Odining that, we're talking a lot of numbers, right? Now, that's not like necessarily always going to happen, but the fact that she's good with your combo type draws and also good with your non-combo type draws is sort of her major appeal in a deck like this. Are ye worthy? Odin is your combo finisher. Now, he is, I think, shockingly inflexible, where it's like, this is a card that is maybe the most telegraphed thing of all time. It's just like, oh my god, I'm getting Odin here. It's very telegraphed. A lot of stuff is happening where it's just like, okay, well, they're gonna Odin here. But the thing is, and I know this because I thought this when I was playing against SafetyBlade, it's kind of shocking how few people are actually, like, gonna expect this Odin. Odin is such a card that leaves people's consciousness after they hit, like, full collection, that even when you're Wonging and doing stuff like this, there's like a, are they really doing that? Are they not playing, like, a Profex Cannonball in here? Really? And I feel like that is helping this deck right now. It might not be helping it by the time I make this video. Who knows? But I definitely remember games against SafetyBlade where I was like, come on, you can't seriously be playing Odin. That's ridiculous. And it turns out he was playing Odin. So there you go. Wong is a deck that is pretty close to my heart. I don't know how many people know this, but one of the times back in the far, far beta, the human spider was one of the only people who could actually queue into me because my MMR was so high. And he sort of invented, like, this is going to sound weird, but like the first Wong deck, right? Like it was like the first time anyone had been doing that. And he like beat me up with it. And so like I've always had a soft spot for decks like this where it's just like, yeah, check me out. I'm playing Ironheart, Wong, White Tiger, and Odin, baby. I love it. I have so much love in my heart for this archetype. I'm very happy that I was actually able to succeed with it because, and again, huge shout out to SafetyBlade for this. It is very close to my heart, and it's the kind of thing that I wouldn't think is viable. But in the current context of what we're seeing, which is like, there's mid-range decks that aren't really playing a lot of Cosmo and Enchantress that Wong goes over, right? So that's a good thing in general for us. And then there's also like just sort of combo decks, but they're not like super tall combo, like not like Living Tribunal, 200 points in every lane, nut off combos. They're more like smaller combos that are really in range of you making a bunch of White Tigers. You can actually beat those a decent amount of the time just on numbers, right? And then there's also like these Clog decks, these Profex decks, these Doc Ock decks, having a bunch of cards that move, having the ability to pump into those lanes with Namora. You end up in a pretty okay spot there too. So just a lot of stuff adds up to a deck that I honestly would not have given the time of day of being kind of functional right now. I had, I think, a 56% win rate and a pretty good cube rate on top of that. I was shocked, personally, that the numbers were anywhere near that good, and I'm very happy with that because, like, come on. It's Wongers. As always, I've been KM Best. Let's take a look at some of the gameplay. I hope you enjoy. I've been KM Best. You've been phenomenal. I will see you in the next one. Is what I've decided about this. Okay. Okay. There's some interesting Blink shit that could happen here. Zane Truesdale wouldn't play Blink. I regret to inform you. Solid. Solid. What's your fave new chibi? Is it the Wong? I don't think so. We'll see. I need to draw a 4 here, or I'm getting pretty heinously shittered, I would say. I need to draw a 4 here pretty bad. Oh, 2/2s also works. Okay. Which one are we cycling? We are cycling the not Jeff. If any, right? We're cycling the not Jeff. So we know they have a Blink. But I can move this Nocturn in here. And then just play this for a bunch. And then I beat their Blink unless it turns into specifically Doctor Doom. Wait, I'm an idiot? Oh, no target. Okay, yeah, we win. See, we beat Leech. Could have moved the guy there. We could have played cards there, but you knew we wouldn't somehow. It's a psychotic play if you're not sniping. Yeah, they were probably sniping. Profex is a savage. I mean, watching what your opponent is playing is pretty good, too. There are no good hits here. They didn't even leave Beta Ray Bill there. They moved that, too. That does seem a little nutso. Sage Flex? I don't know. A shame about this. That was the positive vibes. Well, we just got sniped, so not great. God, you know how I really want to do is just play this Ravona? Maybe I should have done that. Maybe I should have done that. Do I just, like, boomer snap this? Yeah! We hit him with the bluff. We're just putting them somewhere and then not remembering where they are. And I can't play Marvel Snap without a deck of cards to shuffle repeatedly. What the hell is wrong with me? Okay. Oh. My normal deck of cards doesn't appear to be here, but it's cool. That's why I bought these. Got some tiny magic cards to shuffle. Little tiny magic cards over here. Starring a Nicol Bolas Planeswalker. 69-to-1 ratio on these. Holy shit. Cook my fraud ass. Good lord. I don't know what's happening here. Oh my. This seems compelling to me. We might not be playing Namora now. I feel like we are. What we might not be playing is this Jeff. It goes to 18 on the Vats, and then next turn I play Odin in the middle. And it's just like a million dudes. Boy, they're gonna regret that Shadow King, huh? This feels correct to me. This feels like a fairly impressive number. We go to 22 in the middle. Assume full Dazzler, assume full Ant-Man. So they're at a bon- Ah, fuck it, I don't care. I'm just doing it. I'm just doing it. They got me. They don't got me. They don't got me. All right, cool. Don't shuffle nearly as well. Dexter raid? You must be from the future, because I don't see that happening right now. Okay, I have an idea, chat. I have an idea, chat. My idea? Here's my idea. It's Namora Bar Sinister. That's my idea. Can you ban anyone that told you I was raiding, please? Yeah, no problem, dude. I can do that for you. I got you. Thank you, Dex, for the raid. We're trying stuff. Is Namora Bar Sinister a valid plan? I don't feel like it's particularly valid. Okay, maybe this is valid. Maybe this is valid. Okay. This seems unpleasant. I don't enjoy this specific scenario that is happening. We can do 2 Namoras here and see where it takes us. So, like, move that there. What's in my deck is Iron Lad for Sage. Move Nocturn here. Play Ravona here, move Nocturn here? Tiger left. I think I'm gonna try this one instead. Oh, wait, I fucked up. That was Ironheart, not Sage. Alright, we're probably dead. Well, actually. No, we're still probably dead, right? Oh, we did it! Let's go! It would be pretty far down. It'd be pretty far down. I don't think it's great. All right, well, that very likely means this Echo is dying to a kill. That seems like a very real Echo dying to Killmonger threat. Labanos is still good. Hit Infinite with it. I just don't really know if Hit Infinite is the threshold I'm going to use for deck is good, unfortunately. All right, so here's what's happening. Iron Lad, that becomes Wong. Okay, we're definitely getting Killmonger. This is a Wong. Easiest game of my life, dude. Okay, now I will admit to some confusion here. Holy shit, it actually is a Wong. My god? Okay, do we go Namora now? No way. We just do this. You think they have Cull, no Killmonger? Okay, chat. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, hey, KM. But here's what I'm thinking. 2, 1, 6. Wait, does this even win? The Scar costs 4, for the record. Do I have a better play? No. Absolutely do not have a better play. God damn, she's big as fuck! Holy shit! Yo! She's big as hell! For a while. So now I have it. I've been sold on Wong ever since SafetyBlade shittered me with it. Since a bit before that, actually, when Yo Woody was talking about it, I would say. If I had to, like, put a specific thing on it. I like this echo. It means I can't get Cos mode. Like, do we just win if we go, like, Wong, White Tiger, Odin? Does that just win us the game? I'm not fucking doing anything. I'm just playing Wong, White Tiger, Odin. Damn, that sucks. Alright, behold. It's Wong. And then White Tiger, and then Odin. Can you beat that? Duh. That's the scary shit. Maybe they can beat that. We're gonna lose to Pool 1 Destroy. Gonna lose to Angel. I mean, 8 of them is 24, so, you know. If I see a Prof X, I swear to God, hey, that is what it is. That's a life. That's the life I chose. Wolverine, can you, like... Actually, I don't know where I want you to go. Anywhere but middle? See, that means we now need all 4 over there to beat that. It's not impossible. This is not an impossible situation. It doesn't feel super likely. You get more than 4? Oh, do I just, like, fill up everything? I get 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I do. Do I actually get 6? Are you guys baiting me? Two. No, I get 4, right? I get 4. I get 4. I get 6 total, only 4 this turn. That's what I'm talking about. I'll stay, but I won't snap back. Oh my god! Okay, never mind. See, we would have lost. Like... Alright, see, chat, we would have lost. It's all eyes on me, and I'm gonna send it up to Pac. Interesting. This right? Did we just instantly win now? Does Magneto get us? No. C-ball is an issue. I'm not actually sure it is. Odin left better. Yeah. No, I don't like that. I have literally no idea what happened. Ha! Oh no. Oh no.